Imagine waking up to find your neighbor has suddenly claimed your backyard as their own. You'd be outraged, right? But what if I told you that two of your closest friends, people you've trusted for years, surprisingly took your neighbor's side? Intrigued? You should be. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario, it's happening on a global scale. China has released a new standard map, and it's causing a ripple effect of anger, confusion, and disbelief among its neighbors. Territories that have been disputed for years are now boldly claimed by China, and the world is not happy. From the South China Sea to the Himalayas, this map is more than just lines and borders. It's a political statement that's shaking the very foundations of international relations.
China has once again stirred up a major controversy with its neighbors.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Even some of China's closest allies are having second thoughts. Who are these unexpected dissenters? Well, you'll have to stick around to find out. If you're as intrigued as we are, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Historical context. To truly grasp the gravity of China's new map, we need to take a step back in time. You see, the South China Sea isn't just a body of water. It's a cauldron of historical disputes that have simmered for decades. China has long claimed vast areas of the sea, often overlapping with the exclusive economic zones of countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. These aren't just lines on a map. They're lifelines for fishing, trade, and national identity. Over the years, there have been attempts to resolve these disputes. Treaties were signed, and international courts even weighed in. But each time, the tension only seemed to escalate. And it's not just about water and islands. It's about power, influence, and a tussle for control that's as old as history itself. Incidents like naval standoffs and airspace violations have only fanned the flames. So when China released its new standard map, it wasn't just an update. It was a statement. A statement that has rekindled old disputes and ignited new controversies. And just when you thought the 9- line was controversial enough, China ups the ante with a new 10- line. Yes, you heard that right. One more dash, one more claim, and a whole lot more tension. So what's the big deal about this extra dash? Well, the 10th dash extends China's claims further north, closer to Taiwan's exclusive economic zone. It's like moving the goalposts in the middle of the game, and it's ruffling feathers to say the least. Now that you understand the powder keg we're dealing with, let's delve into the global reaction. Trust me, it's not what you'd expect. As we navigate these turbulent waters, our first stop is the Philippines. Picture this, an exclusive economic zone that's a treasure trove of natural resources, from fish to oil. But what happens when someone else starts drawing lines through your treasure map? The Philippines has its eyes set on the Scarborough Shoal, a reef that's more than just a fishing spot. For the Philippines, their EEZ is more than just a maritime boundary. It's a source of livelihood for millions. So, when China's new map encroached upon these waters, you can bet there was an uproar. And it wasn't just fishermen who were alarmed. The Philippine government lodged a diplomatic protest, making it clear that this was a line, literally, that shouldn't be crossed. But here's where it gets even more intense. The National Security Council convened, and let's just say they're not taking this lightly. Experts in the field are calling this a pivotal moment that could redefine Philippines-China relations for years to come. The Philippines isn't just standing by, they're rallying other nations, making this not just a bilateral issue, but a global concern. The question now is, will this unity be enough to redraw the lines? Or is the ink already dry on China's ambitions? Recently, China blocked a Philippine Navy boat from resupplying troops on a disputed island. Imagine your neighbor not only claiming your backyard, but also stopping your grocery deliveries. This blockade led the Philippines to lodge a diplomatic protest, adding fuel to an already blazing fire. As we set sail from the Philippines, you'll want to stay aboard. Up next, another neighbor who's not too pleased with China's cartographic creativity. From the waters of the South China Sea, we now journey to the towering peaks of the Himalayas. Here, India finds itself in a cartographic face-off with China over two key regions, Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin. These aren't just patches of land, they're steeped in history and cultural significance. And let's not forget, they're also strategically important. So when China's new map laid claim to these areas, India was quick to raise the red flag. India didn't just express concern, they lodged a strong protest. Foreign Minister S. Chai Shankar made it clear, this isn't just a map, it's a message, and it's not one India is willing to accept. But what does this mean for India-China relations? Well, let's just say the temperature is dropping, and it's not because of the Himalayan winds. Experts are calling this a turning point, a moment that could either mend fences or build walls. India is now at a crossroads, balancing its diplomatic ties and its territorial integrity. And trust me, they're not alone. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. And let's not forget, the rivalry between China and India isn't just limited to Earth. It extends all the way to space and the moon. For a closer look at this cosmic competition, check out our video on India's space mission. Click the link above to see how these earthly disputes have created celestial implications. As we leave the rugged terrains of India, fasten your seatbelts. Our next destination is another neighbor who's finding it hard to stay neutral. We're back on the high seas, but this time we're sailing into Malaysia's waters. Picture a maritime boundary that's not just about territory. It's about national pride and economic prosperity. Malaysia is holding its ground over the Spratly Islands, a cluster that's a geopolitical tinderbox. For Malaysia, these waters are a lifeline, teeming with fish and rich in oil and gas reserves. So when China's new map claimed a chunk of this maritime treasure, Malaysia had a two-word response: not happening. That's right, Malaysia officially rejected China's map, making it one of the few countries to take such a bold stance. But they didn't stop there. Malaysia is calling for something that's been missing in this whole saga: dialogue. They believe that words, not maps, are the key to resolving these deep-rooted disputes. And they're not alone. Many are now looking to Malaysia as a voice of reason in a sea of discord. Could dialogue be the missing piece of this complex puzzle? As we navigate away from Malaysia's contested waters, get ready for another twist in this intricate tale. Our next stop? A country that's no stranger to standing its ground. Hold on tight because we're steering into Vietnam's waters now. Imagine a coastline stretching over 3,000 kilometers, rich in biodiversity and natural resources. This isn't just a scenic view. It's Vietnam's lifeblood. Vietnam is adamant about its claims over the Paracel Islands, a group of islands that have seen more than their share of conflict. For Vietnam, the South China Sea is more than a maritime zone. It's a symbol of national resilience. So when China's new map included a dashed line that cut through these waters, Vietnam had a clear message: not on our watch. Vietnam was resolute in rejecting any claims based on this dashed line. They're not just drawing a line in the sand, they're drawing a line in the sea, and it's a line they're willing to defend. But here's the catch. This isn't just about maps and lines. It's about potential maritime tensions that could escalate into something far more serious. Vietnam is gearing up, both diplomatically and militarily. The stakes are high, and Vietnam knows it. They're not just defending their waters, they're defending their sovereignty, and they're urging the international community to take notice. As we sail away from Vietnam's defiant shores, brace yourselves. Our next destination is a country that's taking the diplomatic route, but with a twist you won't see coming. Our next stop is Taiwan, an island nation that's no stranger to controversy. But this isn't just any controversy. It's one that strikes at the very heart of Taiwan's identity. Taiwan stakes its claim on Taiping Island, a part of the Spratly Islands, and it's not backing down. For more on why countries, including the US and China, are willing to fight over Taiwan, don't miss our in-depth video on the subject. Click the link above to watch it now. Taiwan has always been in a unique political limbo, balancing its own governance with the looming shadow of China. So when China's new map claimed Taiwan as its own, the island had a simple yet powerful response: we are not China. Taiwan didn't just reject the map, they rejected the very notion that their identity could be erased with a stroke of a pen. This is more than a territorial dispute. It's a battle for recognition. But what does this mean for Taiwan-China relations? Well, let's just say the waters have never been murkier. Taiwan is now walking a tightrope, balancing its quest for international recognition with the reality of Chinese pressure. Taiwan is standing its ground, and it's not alone. The international community is taking note, and the question on everyone's mind is, how far will China go to redraw the world as we know it? As we leave Taiwan's resilient shores, prepare yourselves. Our next stop is a country that's known for its diplomacy, but its latest move might just surprise you. Our journey now takes us to the land of the rising sun, Japan. But don't let the poetic name fool you. Japan is facing a rising challenge, and it's coming from just across the sea. Japan's focus is on the Senkaku Islands, a group of uninhabited islands that are small but strategically significant. Japan's territorial waters are a blend of tradition and modernity, from ancient fishing routes to bustling shipping lanes. But when China's new map started making waves, Japan had to navigate carefully. Japan took a diplomatic approach, expressing deep concern over China's new map. It's a stance that's as calculated as it is cautious. Japan is playing the long game here, and it's a game of high stakes. So, what does this mean for Japan-China relations? Well, it's complicated. Japan is balancing its own territorial integrity with its economic ties to China, and that's a tightrope not easily walked. Japan's diplomatic dance is a sign of the times. The country is caught in a geopolitical tug-of-war, and the world is watching closely. The question now is, will this diplomatic approach hold water, or will it sink under pressure? As we set sail from Japan's contested waters, let's hear what the United States has to say about this. Who actually has nothing to do in the area, but just likes to help everyone around the world because their military needs something to do. Buckle up because we're crossing the Pacific to the United States. You might be wondering, what's the US doing in a story about China's neighbors? Well, when it comes to the South China Sea, the US is a major player. The US has long been a guardian of free navigation in these waters, ensuring that international law is respected. So when China's new map surfaced, the US State Department didn't mince words. While not claiming territory, the US navigates the South China Sea to assert freedom of navigation, challenging China's claims. Vice President Kamala Harris has even denounced China's intimidation in the region, signaling a tough US stance. But here's where it gets tricky. The US and China are economic powerhouses, deeply intertwined. This denouncement isn't just a ripple, it's a potential tidal wave in US-China relations. The US is walking a fine line, balancing its commitment to allies with its complex relationship with China. The world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As we leave the US coastline, prepare for a plot twist that will leave you speechless. Our next stop is a country that's usually China's ally, but this time, the script has flipped. All right, folks, brace yourselves. We're about to drop a plot twist that's as shocking as it is true. You know how every story has that moment that leaves you gasping? Well, this is it. Russia had an agreement with China over the Ussuri River Islands, but the new map has thrown that into question. Imagine, your closest friend suddenly starts questioning your actions. That's exactly what's happening to China. Their most trusted ally has something to say, and it's not what you'd expect. This isn't just a hiccup, it's a seismic shift in geopolitics. The alliance we thought was unshakable is showing cracks, and the world is on the edge of its seat. Who is this mysterious ally? Stick around because what comes next will redefine how you see global politics. The suspense is over, folks. The unexpected ally we've been hinting at is none other than Russia. Yes, you heard that right. Russia, China's long-standing friend, is raising eyebrows. Russia had an agreement with China over the Ussuri River Islands, but the new map has thrown that into question. So what's the deal? Well, China's new map includes a claim over an island that Russia thought was settled territory. Imagine your best friend suddenly saying your shared secret isn't so secret anymore. Russia didn't react immediately. They took their time, weighed their options, and then, boom, a delayed protest. It's like a slow burn that suddenly catches fire. This isn't just about a piece of land. It's about trust, alliances, and geopolitical chess. Russia and China have deep-rooted economic and military ties. A rift here could send shockwaves through global politics. The question now is, how deep does this crack go? Can this friendship withstand the test? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a new geopolitical landscape? As if this wasn't enough, our next stop is a small country with a big voice. Get ready, because this one's a game changer. Just when you thought the plot couldn't thicken anymore, enter Nepal. A small country with a voice that's hard to ignore. You won't believe what they've got to say. Nepal is protesting that China put Nepal's Kalapani territory under India, adding a new twist to the tale. Nepal, known for its stunning Himalayas, is now making headlines for a different reason. They're not just upset with China's new map. They're downright furious. Why? Because China just handed a piece of Nepal's land to India on a silver platter. Imagine your friend giving away your favorite book to someone else without asking you. That's how Nepal feels right now. They've lodged a protest, and it's not just a whisper, it's a roar. This isn't a simple love triangle. It's a geopolitical mess. Nepal has complicated relations with both China and India. This new map just threw a wrench into the machinery. So, what's the fallout? Well, Nepal is now in a diplomatic tug-of-war, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Are they the underdog that bites back? Or will they be the pawn in a larger game? Hold on to your seats, because we're not done unraveling this intricate web. Up next, we tie it all together and reveal what it means for the world stage. So here we are, at the eye of the storm. From the Philippines to Russia, and even the unexpected voice of Nepal, the world is sending China a clear message. Not so fast. And here's the kicker, folks. The Chinese president has skipped the last G20 meeting held in India. No handshakes, no photo ops. What does that tell you? Is it a snub, a strategic move, or a sign of something bigger? The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. If this roller coaster of geopolitics had you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the issues that shape our world.